conference. Uh, we are waiting for our chief guest, Honorable Minister of Education, Science and Technology, and he will join us very shortly. So I would like to welcome you all in the inaugural session of 55th anniversary of the Central Department of Zoology, Tribhuvan University, and first National Conference on Zoology. On the auspicious occasion of 55th anniversary of its establishment, I would like to extend my congratulations and best wishes to all the members of Central Department of Zoology, Tribhuvan University, and its graduates. Central Department of Zoology family has been observing the anniversaries on 13th of Mangsir every year since its establishment in 1965 in different ways. This year we are celebrating our annual day and in the form of an extension of educational program as the first National Conference on Zoology, which is jointly organized by the Central Department of Zoology and its Alumni Association of Central Department of Zoology. And our conference is supported by IUCN, National MTNC, WWF, and Zoological Society of London, Nepal office. And amid COVID-19 pandemic, as we cannot join physically, we are participating to the conference virtually by a Zoom platform, and we have the largest participation ever in our annual day. So it will run, the conference will run for 3 days with the participation of more than 150 presenters, panelists, and 300 and plus participants from many countries across the world. And we believe this conference is a unique platform bringing academicians, scientists, researchers, research scholars, and students together to share their research ideas and findings. The slogan chosen for this year's conference is Biodiversity in a Changing World. And we have 5 major themes under it: biodiversity of Nepal, conservation approaches, One Health, climate change, and human dimensions of zoology. Each day of the conference, we will have keynote speeches, invited speeches, panel discussions, and 3 parallel sessions of oral presentation. Without further delay, let's continue the inaugural session of the 3-day programs, and I will welcome our chief guest later on when he joins us. So to start this program formally, I would like to request the head of department and the chairman of the conference organizing committee of the first National Conference on Zoology, Professor Dr. Tej Bahadur Thapa, to chair this session.
Thank you a lot for the
our honorable chief guest, Honorable Minister of Education, Science and Technology, he will join us soon. And I would like to welcome our Vice Chancellor of Tribhuvan University, Professor Dr. Dharmakanta Sabkota, sir, as the special guest for the inaugural session of this conference. In the same way, we have Rector from Tribhuvan University, Professor Dr. Sivalal Bhusal, sir, as the special guest. Registrar of the Tribhuvan University, Professor Dr. Pesal Dahal, sir. And we have the Dean of Institute of Science and Technology, Professor Dr. Ramprasad Khatioda, sir, as the special guest for the inaugural session. And we have a special guest, Dr. Vishwanath Woli, Secretary of Ministry of Forest and Environment. Dr. Woli is joining us, he will join us soon. And in the same way, I would like to welcome Professor Jeffrey McNally as the guest in our inaugural session, Professor Dr. Leonie Alonso, Professor Dr. Rameswar Adhikari, Director of Recast Tribhuvan University, heads of different departments of Tribhuvan University, faculty members, staff, and students of Central Department of Zoology, and all the delegates inside and outside Nepal who are joining this conference. I would like to welcome you all and have your chair on the program. So let's welcome the program with National Anthem. And I would like to request all the participants to remain silent on attention in respect of the Nepalese national anthem. Thank you everyone. Now I would like to request Professor Dr. Mahendra Mahajan. He is member of the conference organizing committee and professor of Central Department of Zoology. I would like to welcome Professor Mahajan for welcome speech.
Namaste. Good morning to all. On behalf of conference organizing committee, as well as a president of Nepal Zoological Society also, I give you all a warm welcome on celebration of 55th anniversary of Central Department of Zoology. On the occasion of 55th anniversary, this year we are organizing national conference on the theme Biodiversity in the Changing World. The Central Department of Zoology was established on Mangsir 13, 2022 BS. In 2072, we have celebrated its Grand Golden Jubilee with various activities. Since its establishment, the department has produced around 200 high-level manpower in the field of zoology. Entomology was the only special paper in the beginning, but today the Central Department of Zoology has 4 special papers: entomology, ecology, fish and fisheries, as well as parasitology. During these 55 years in the life of Central Department of Zoology, it has gone tremendous metamorphosis in its academic system. Annual systems to semester system, again semester to annual, and again now back to semester system. Central Department of Zoology is one of the oldest department in the country, offering masters as well as PhD program. The department has fully equipped laboratory for its all special papers and highly qualified faculty members. The manpower we produce from department have been holding the key positions in government as well as non-government institutions. The department is running 2 academic programs, masters and PhD at present, and the conduct research activities. Faculty members have been well engaged and awarded research projects from various national and international agencies. Students of department have also been provided the thesis research grants from various organizations. The faculty members of the department are publishing research articles in national and international impact factor journals, and department has its own journal publication, Nepalese Journal of Zoology. In collaboration with Nepal Zoological Society, Central Department of Zoology has felicitated 35 professors emeritus for their great contribution in the field of zoology on its various anniversary programs. Central Department of Zoology, in collaboration with Nepal Zoological Society, published Directory of Nepalese Zoologists and other publications. We have celebrated its 45th anniversary with Grand National Seminar at Rashtriya Pragya Pratishthan and 50th anniversary Golden Jubilee with various programs in collaboration with Nepal Zoological Society, an umbrella organization of all zoologists throughout the country. And today onwards, these 3 days, we are going to celebrate its 55th anniversary organizing national seminar. Let's make this conference a grand success. In today's inauguration program, I would like to warm welcome to our chief guest, Honorable Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Mr. Giriraj Mani Pokhrel, for accepting our request in between his most busy schedule. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Dharmakanta Baskota, who has been always positive for zoologists and has issued letter recommending advertisement of zoologists in National Planning Commission. Warm welcome to you, sir. Similarly, special guest. Welcome. So similarly, special guest, our Rector of Tribhuvan University, Professor Dr. Sivalal Bhusal sir, and Registrar, Professor Dr. Peshal Dahal sir, as well as the Dean of Science and Technology, Professor Dr. Ram Prasad Khatioda sir, as well as the deans of other institutions. The department heads of biological sciences, as well as Director of RICAS, Professor Dr. Rameshwar Adhikari sir. So as well as Dr. Vishwanath Oli, sir, Secretary, Minister of Forest and Environment, please accept our warm welcome. So in this conference, we have 5 keynote speakers. On behalf of organizing committee, I would like to give warm welcome to Professor Jeffrey A. McNeely, Professor Foen Wee, Professor Eric Dunstern, Professor Richard Koch, and Professor Valerie Kapos. Similarly, I would like to extend my warm welcome to 20 invited speakers, all co-chair of the technical host of this 3 days conference, as well as our 134 technical paper presenters from Nepal as well as abroad. Please accept my warm welcome. Once again, welcome all, and let's celebrate 55th anniversary of Central Department of Zoology with historical success of national conference. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Maharjan, for your welcome speech, highlighting since the establishment of department, and welcome all our delegates. Our chief guest, Honorable Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Honorable Giriraj Mani Pokhrel, has joined us. So I would like to welcome you as the chief guest of program, Honorable Minister. And generally, we would inaugurate the program by lighting the panas in our culture. However, due to ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, we are gathered virtually. Honorable Minister of Education, Science and Technology also has joined us online. I would like to request Honorable Giriraj Mani Pokhrel, Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Government of Nepal, to declare the opening of the first national conference on zoology, biodiversity in a changing world, and continue with his opening remarks.
Thank you. Chairperson of the organizing committee, you Vice Chancellor and other authorities, government officials, secretaries, Dr. Jeffrey McNeely, International Resource Panel member, UNEP, International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, distinguished scientists, academicians, delegates and guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to this conference first National Conference on Zoology Biodiversity in Changing World. At the outset, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the organizer for organizing a virtual national conference on zoology. I feel privileged to be a chief guest today in such a unique national conference on zoology for the first time in Nepal. It really gives me inspiration that so many researchers and students are connected here to promote science. I believe this conference will prove itself as an opportunity not only for sharing the findings of the research works conducted in different parts of the country, but also to learn more from the experiences of some leading scientists in the field of biology. I'm happy that the conference is organized by the Central Department of Zoology, University, and its alumni association on the occasion of anniversary of this department. As such, the conference themes such a biodiversity of Nepal, conservation approaches on health, climate change, human dimensions of zoology seems very relevant in the present context. We all are crystal clear that the entire world is being suffered and troubled by COVID-19, a pandemic. Each and every aspect of the world have been badly affected. Particularly, this is the time of the international health crisis when the scientists can play a major role in mitigating it. I would like to thank the organizers for their initiatives and express my best wishes for the success of the 3-day mega event. Distinguished participants, as we understand that biodiversity is the foundation for the ecosystem, it's equally important for economic stability and growth, source of foods, medicines, and many more, though there is a huge challenge to safeguard such diversity for sustaining the world. In the case of Nepal, our rich faunal biodiversity has become considerably deteriorating due to rapid population growth, excessive resource extraction, and infrastructure developments. As a result, the country's natural resource and habitats are degraded and decreased, which creates a big challenge in sustaining the natural setting. In this crucial context, scientific survey and preparation of faunal database of the country could be very important. I acknowledge all the contributions made by national and international experts at the institutional or individual level in generating biodiversity data for so far. I also admire the contribution of Nepalese zoologists for their inputs in developing national policy in biodiversity conservation since the establishment of Department of Zoology in 1965. I believe the department is producing qualified human resource on zoology, carrying out research and advising government on matters of faunal resources. It now becomes a leading institution of zoology in Nepal, using its expertise to advance knowledge and influencing public policy and perception on faunal resources. I know the graduates from Central Department of Zoology are working in different fields in the country and abroad, and I believe they deserve placements in relevant government sectors in the country. As we know, 1.6 billion children across 191 countries have been severely affected by the pandemic. All the educational institutions have been closed for a long time. Our country is also badly affected by the alarming spread of the virus. Educational institutions trying their best to incorporate innovative technologies and pedagogical implications, as distance and online education is dependent on technological facilities, including internet and Wi-Fi and other alternative modes of learning. At this point in time, I am pleased to mention that the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology has been trying its best to cope up with this problem, incorporating every positive support and suggestions from the stakeholders. During the time, we have been heavily engaged in developing a legal foundation for the alternative learning, develop the learning materials and deliver them through online and offline mode. Distinguished dignitaries, I take this opportunity to share the major theory of changes we have been adopting to continue the education in crisis situation, pursuing with not to losing the academic session, preparation of legal guideline and clear procedures, customized curricula with safeguarding the core intents, allocation of additional budget, development of ICT-based learning materials, effective delivery of the lessons through the alternative modes, ensuring accessibility of online and offline learning materials to the learners, localized planning, management of education, schools and teachers' accountability towards the student learning with having autonomy to adopt the flexible delivery approaches, the best utilization of ICT, homeschooling, promoting parental support, volunteer mobilization, flexible learning assessments, and shared responsibility among the three tiers of government are the fundamental principles to move forward the education in the unprecedented crisis. In this context, the role of scientists in this situation of international crisis is paramount. It is believed that the COVID-19 has been originated from an animal and has considered that it has zoonotic transmission. Its origin and transmission pattern further increase the importance of animal scientists in uncovering the facts related to coronavirus. I hope this conference would be a milestone in bringing academicians, scientists, researchers, research scholars, and students together to share their research findings on all aspects of zoological science. The conference will also provide an interdisciplinary platform for researchers, practitioners, and educators to present and discuss the recent innovations, trends, and concerns, as well as practical challenges encountered and solutions adopted in the faunal research and management. Furthermore, it is an opportunity for exchange of information, ideas, and scientific discoveries at the time of rapid human development and global climate change and the associated risks for fauna and society. Furthermore, it will also provide an opportunity to the participants to establish a network to collaborative and to develop innovative ideas in the research and development. The conclusion of the seminar could be instrumental in policy planning for biodiversity research, conservation, and environment-friendly sustainable development. We know that the science is for common good and development of science will serve for society, focusing more equitable development and respect for delivery. I take this opportunity to highlight that the government have been able to bring the Science, Technology and Innovation Policy 2019, which gives a wider platform to enhance the science and technology not only as a teaching subject in school and universities, but also as a means for the technology-based development of the country. The government is committed to supporting science despite its limited resources, which may lead to make our universities the center of excellence. We are also trying to improve academia and make career paths more clearly defined. We will work further for generating career opportunities for qualified science graduates in the government sector. Universities will ultimately be able to attract the right competence to research, which will definitely contribute towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goal, SDG 2030, and our national vision of prosperous Nepal and happy Nepali. Finally, I wish the conference find the way to move forward in which the zoologists can collectively benefit from the rich talent and wisdom of its scientific community. Our shared heritage and aspirations for the future would lead us to work together in a spirit of mutual support and solidarity, collective purpose, and shared striving. I wish you very success in making this conference a turning point for zoological science. Thank you.
माननीय
Thank you
मन्त्रीज्यू,
very much.
उद्घाटन भएको घोषणा पनि गरिदिनु पर्यो माननीय मन्त्रीज्यूले।
मैले त्यहाँ देखिनँ। अब मैले यो फर्स्ट नेशनल कन्फरेन्स अन जुलोजी बायोडाइभर्सिटी इन चेन्जिङ वर्ल्ड यो चाहिँ मैले सुरुमै यो प्रारम्भ भएको जानकारी गराएको थिएँ। मैले यहाँ देखेँ 50th एनिभर्सरी सेन्ट्रल डिपार्टमेन्ट जुलोजी फर्स्ट नेशनल कन्फरेन्स अन जुलोजी बायोडाइभर्सिटी इन ए चेन्जिङ वर्ल्ड 28-30 नोभेम्बर 2020 काठमाडौँ नेपाल। भिसी साहब र सबै साथीहरूलाई मैले यो धन्यवाद दिएँ। म चाहिँ काठमाडौँमा हुन्छु भनेर वचन दिएको थिएँ, तर मलाई यहाँ रसुवा जानु पर्यो र म यहाँ नुवाकोटमा आइपुगेर एउटा होटलमा यो मिलाएर यो कार्यक्रममा चाहिँ सहभागी हुन पाएँ। यति कुरा राखेर म बिदा पनि माग्छु यहाँहरू सबैसँग र कार्यक्रममा सफलता कामना गर्छु। नमस्कार।
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for giving us time as the chief guest despite your busy schedule. And we wish for your nice journey to Rasua. And thank you very much for highlighting the importance of faunal database and for highlighting the potential of graduates of Central Department of Zoology for job opportunities in government sector. We admire your concept of saying that competent should get chance. And we are equally thankful to you for informing us about the plans of your ministry to continue teaching learning process even in these hard situations of COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you very much for giving us time, Honorable Minister. Thank you very much. Now, to continue the program, I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Kumar Sabkota for his speech. Professor Sabkota is the coordinator of the scientific subcommittee of the first national conference on zoology. I would like to request Professor Sabkota for highlighting the plans of the conference. Kumar sir. Kumar sir, can you tell us?
So, Chairperson, Professor Dr. Tej Bahadur Thapa, Head, Central Department of Zoology, Honorable Chief Guest, Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Special Guest, Professor Dr. Dharmakant Basubata, Vice Chancellor, Tribhuvan University, Special Guest, Rector, Professor Dr. Sivalal Bhusal, Registrar, Professor Dr. Pishal Dahal Sir, Dean, Professor Dr. Ram Prasad Khatioda, Special Guest, Dr. Vishwanath Woli, Secretary, Ministry of Forest and Environment. Distinguished guest speakers, distinguished academics, scientists, researchers, research scholars, and students, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste and warm greetings. A very good morning to everyone, and thank you for joining us in the opening ceremony of the first National Conference on Zoology, Biodiversity in a Changing World, jointly organized by Central Department of Zoology and Alumni Association of the Central Department of Zoology. Zoology, one of the oldest natural science with a history of more than 2,000 years, has re-emerged as an integrative discipline comprising all aspects of animal life, from gene to the ecosystem level. This study of the animal kingdom of all animals, both living and extinct, and how they interact with their ecosystems, has been influential in bringing paradigm shifts in how we think, not just about what we know about these animals, but also about us as humans for better understanding ourselves. A very well-known example, Darwin's theory of evolution, which formed the foundation of zoological research. With this importance of zoological research in mind, Central Department of Zoology was established in 1965 with the aims of carrying out zoological research and providing policy guidance to government officials. Since then, the department has used its expertise to not just meet those goals, but also make a direct impact on society. So, to date, around 2,000 graduates have been produced from the Central Department of Zoology. These graduates have been occupying key positions in national and international arena in their own capacity and have been contributing to the nation by actively accomplishing diverse research work. They have consequently brought about recognition to the country with their many excellent publications and their affiliations. Zoologists are on the front line of conservation and work to save species and their habitats. They are also passionate about teaching others about animal kingdom and the benefits of protecting the natural world. Whether it is climate change, food security, environmental toxicology, or species extinction, scientists in zoology are tackling these issues head-on. I see the Central Department role in modern Nepal as being multifaceted. On one hand, our department acts as a gatekeeper, disseminator, and curator of new knowledge. On the other, it forms a nexus of interaction and engagement between a complex range of interests on a local, regional, national, and global basis. Despite the significance of department's role and the impact of zoological research, the current hiring practices concerning the graduates of Central Department of Zoology in different specializations such as entomology, fish and fisheries, ecology, and parasitology in government services do not seem to be commensurate with their contributions to the country at large. Up until a few years ago, there was considerable demand from the public service sector in hiring fish and fisheries and entomology graduates. This practice has sadly discontinued, making the graduates from a government university ineligible to work for that very government in their own area of expertise. The graduates of our department are gravely concerned as they are unable to compete in the Public Service Commission like their fellow graduates from other institutes. For Nepal, where millions still reside in the rural regions, the livelihood of people are closely linked with biodiversity as they depend on natural resources for daily subsistence and cash income. The study of zoology thus directly touches on important aspects of animals' life: agriculture productivity, food security, nutrition, indigenous peoples, knowledge, climate, water resources, ecological value to the society. But more importantly, zoology focuses on the ecosystem services provided by animals, which are vital for the well-being of humans. It is, however, quite astounding to witness how this importance is little known or realized amongst Nepal's planners, politicians, and officials. This is evident by how the government has not expanded its efforts beyond establishing the Department of Plant Resources under its wing through the Ministry of Forest and Environment. The absence of any effort to do the same and the set up a Department of Zoology in the Ministry of Comserve as a disregard to formally recognize and put into effect the contribution of the research and the role of zoologists in conserving biodiversity. Distinguished scholars, honorable guests, and ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed living in extraordinary times where the cost of human tragedy from the COVID-19 pandemic we have witnessed how biodiversity is being destroyed at a rate unprecedented in history due to human activities. This devastating decline of biodiversity is having catastrophic impacts not only on the species and genetic diversity, but also on human health and wealth. Contextualizing this global threat for Nepal, there is an array of drivers accelerating this destruction: habitat loss, climate change, pollution, invasive species, and overexploitation. But the problem is made worse by the fact that at the very basic level, there is an unavailability of even the baseline data for many species, and there exists a taxonomic uncertainty of many taxa. In addition, the limited ability to assess and tackle the impacts on our biodiversity makes it harder to even gauge and understand the magnitude, scale, and the cause of the problem. This conference is thus timely significant because it aims to not only bring researchers together to share their research findings, innovations, and concerns on all aspects of zoological science, but also to identify the challenges and provide the solutions in the faunal research and management. Distinguished speakers, guests, ladies and gentlemen, there are 5 major themes in this conference: biodiversity of Nepal, conservation approaches, One Health, climate change, human dimension of zoology. And we have participation from Nepal, India, China, Korea, Taiwan, Malaysia, Thailand, New Zealand, US, Canada, and the UK. We have 158 oral presentations with 5 keynote speakers, and we have 20 invited speakers, and planning to conduct the 3 panel discussions. I'd like to express my gratitude and deep appreciation to our distinguished keynote speakers and the invited speakers for giving their valuable time. Finally, I would like to wish you and your families my personal best for your health and safety in these difficult times. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Sabkota, for shedding light on the plan of conference and highlighting the role of Central Department of Zoology and its graduates, as well as highlighting the competence of graduates of the department and their potential role in conservation and livelihood. Thank you very much. And now, recently in the program, Professor Duis Raju Preti, one of the pioneer zoologists, founding member of the department and former head of Central Department of Zoology, former dean of Institute of Science and Technology, he had joined the program. I would like to welcome Professor Preti in the conference, inaugural session of the conference. Without further delay, let's continue the program. We have some international delegates who have joined us as the keynote speakers, and they have given time for opening session of the program also. I would like to request Professor Dr. Jeffrey McNally. He is the International Resource Panel member of United Nations Environment Program, and he worked as the chief scientist for International Union for Conservation of Nature. I would like to request Professor Jeffrey McNally for his short remarks.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to thank Nepal for really setting my life on the path that led me to IUCN. Back in 1969, I first visited Nepal and went on a trek to Langtang National Park. And then a couple of years later, I went on an expedition to eastern Nepal, up on the border with Tibet in Sankawasaba district. 2 weeks walk from the nearest road. So when you're talking about changing times, boy, times have changed since then. And so the appreciation that I had in being 2 weeks walk from the nearest road in a place where people were living in balance with the environment, tremendous cultural diversity as well as biological diversity. So I hope that this meeting will also be an opportunity to show that the diversity of human adaptation to varying ecosystems, of which Nepal has a tremendous variety, is really something that is important for the world to recognize. And I'm very delighted to be part of this this very important conference. It's more than just zoology. You know, when we're talking about biodiversity, that's what life is all about. So biological diversity and cultural diversity is the package that we're going to be hearing a lot of presentations about in the coming 3 days. So I thank you for inviting me to come and speak. I thank Nepal for showing me back in my youth of what life can really be about, and why I devoted my whole 50 years after that to working on conservation, trying to conserve biological diversity and cultural diversity, following my studies as an anthropologist at the University of California. So thanks again for inviting me, and please accept my warm best wishes for a very productive 3 days. And of course, the time after that, putting your good ideas into practice. So, namaste.
Namaste, Dr. Jeffrey McNally. Thank you very much. You first came Nepal only 4 years after this department was established. So it has already been 50 years you came here. And thank you very much for your contribution in conservation of biological diversity and highlighting the human adaptation in Nepal in diverse ecosystem. Thank you very much, Dr. McNally. Now, I would like to request Professor Dr. Dharmakanta Sabkota, sir, Vice Chancellor of Tribhuvan University, for his remarks.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman of this inaugural ceremony, Chief Guest, Honorable Minister of Education, Science and Technology, Government of Nepal, other distinguished guests, eminent scientists and elite experts of geology, my co-workers, scholars, researchers, and participants. It gives me immense pleasure to participate in this webinar on First National Conference on Zoology, Biodiversity in a Changing World, organized by Central Department of Zoology, Tribhuvan University. In this context, first of all, I would like to congratulate all of you for the auspicious occasion of 57th of your anniversary, and the organizers, especially working team of Central Department of Zoology, headed by Professor Tej Bahadur Thapa, along with other collaborative partners, and very much pleased to share a few words among the eminent experts from all over the globe of the subject specialty. As far as I know, Nepal is a land of rich faunal diversity, which are found within the territory of only 150 kilometers of width of the country due to climatic variation of our country, right from the tropical hot climate to very cold snow-covered climate throughout the year, that is the Mount Everest, the top of the world. But unfortunately, Nepal's rich faunal diversity has become considerably depleted due to rapid population growth, excessive resource extraction, global climatic changes, pollutions, and infrastructures development. As a result, the country's wilderness areas are marginalized and habitats are degraded and fragmented, resulting increased threat to species. Under this crucial situation, the role of Central Department of Zoology and Human Resource Produce in this subject specialty must become more responsible for the conservation of nature-gifted faunal diversity of Nepal and help the government of Nepal for the policy formulation accordingly. But unfortunately, our products are not getting proper placement in government services, as there are no separate department within any ministry of government of Nepal, and not created any post for the zoologist in the government services to serve the nation, as like Department of Botany, that is the Vanaspati Vibhag, or the botanist. So I'd like to draw the attention of our chief guest, Honorable Minister of Education, Science and Technology, and other government officials to create an appropriate department like Department of Zoology within the Ministry of Forestry and Environment to preserve our rich oral biodiversity. Our zoologists are ready and very much keen to take this responsibility and serve the government and nation for the policy formulation, related researches in this field, and especially for the faunal conservation. I'm sure that the Central Department of Zoology of our university is creating a good platform for zoologists and young researchers of this field, not only to enhance their knowledge and skill, but also to promote their research activities in this field. Moreover, plenary sessions, keynote addresses, and the lectures delivered by well-known leading world-class personalities of specific topics of subject specialty and exposure of our scholars and students in this type of webinar will definitely help them to improve their knowledge and skills. As per my knowledge, the department have been organizing such kinds of interaction regularly since its inception. Likewise, it is also conducting workshops, seminars, and other scientific activities regularly to encourage young scientists for the research and publication with the partnership of several national and international partners. No doubt, university must be a place of creating and disseminating knowledge and skills, enhancing wisdom, doing researches, leading to innovations, and many more. So this is the right platform to exchange our knowledge, experiences, expertise, and skills of this subject specialties. Nepal is a virgin land for all kinds of researches, especially in the field of natural sciences, faunal diversity, mountain study, snow hydrology, high altitude sicknesses, and many more. So in this forum, I invite all of you, our collaborative partners, international agencies, scientists, and researchers to proceed for collaborative research with our faculties of Tribhuvan University for the innovations and many more. As I already mentioned that our country is a virgin land for any type of researches. I believe that this webinar could be a good start of further collaboration and initiation. Finally, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the organizers, our collaborative partners, eminent speakers, experts, and all the participants for organizing this conference in this crucial moment when the entire world is fighting with COVID-19 pandemics. Likewise, my special thanks go to the organizers for inviting me in this great event, as well as to share my voice with all of you. I wish a grand success of this conference with fruitful outcome for all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Sabkota, for highlighting the importance of biodiversity of Nepal and threats they are facing currently. And at the meantime, Professor Sabkota highlighted potential areas of exploration in Nepal. And most importantly, we are thankful to our Vice Chancellor because he has been supporting us in the issue of proper placement of zoologists in government services and establishment of a separate department, something like Department of Faunal Resources, like that. Thank you very much, Professor Sabkota, for giving us time and for your very important speech. Now we are in the last session of this inaugural session, last phase of the inaugural session, and I would like to request the chairman of the inaugural session for vote of thanks and closing remarks. Professor Thapa, please.
Good morning and namaste. Honorable Giriraj Mani Pokhrel, Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, and also he is Pro-Vice Chancellor of Tribhuvan University. Respected Professor Dr. Dharmakant Sabkota, Vice Chancellor of Tribhuvan University. We have respected Rector, Professor Shivalal Bhushal, and respected Registrar, Professor Peshal Dahal. and deans of Institute of Science and Technology. I think there is Dean of Institute of Forestry also, Directors of Research Center in Tribhuvan University, distinguished keynote speaker. We have guests in Assistant Deans of Institute of Science and Technology, senior officials of the central and provincial government of Nepal, heads of department of under the Tribhuvan University, Institute of Science and Technology, distinguished scientists, academicians, delegates, and participants. We received support from some of the organizations. We invited Dr. Prahlad Thapa. He is with the IUCN Nepal. He is the chief of IUCN Nepal. Dr. Siddharth Vajracharya, who is member secretary of the National Trust for Nature Conservation. Dr. Ghanshyam Gurung, country representatives of WWF Nepal. Dr. M. Sagar Baral, TDSL Nepal. They are supporting. And Dr. Vajracharya and Dr. Baral is alumni of our department. They were graduated from our department. My department colleagues, former aides of department, former faculties, and the large CTZ alumni base, researchers, research scholars, students, and staff. As we came to the end of the occasion, opening ceremony, allow me to make a few remarks and express our gratitude to all of you. Central Department of Zoology is honored to be organizer of the first National Conference on Zoology, Biodiversity in the Changing World. It is our ambition to host this conference virtually at the time of global health crisis due to COVID-19. This conference is organized by the Central Department of Zoology and our alumni. Those alumni are spread various parts of the world, and they are working in different part of the country also as well. We are observing 55th anniversary of the department. The Central Department of Zoology envisioned 3 important strategies. Actually, this is most important thing for the university: teaching, research, and extension. In its strategic plan that we prepared, that plan is a 5-year plan for 2019 and 23. 2023, First National Conference is one of the most important extension activities of the department. We believe these extension activities, including National Conference, will help to mainstream zoology and make priority agenda of the government for research, faunal conservation, national development, and employment. I would like to extend sincere gratitude to Honorable Minister for accepting our invitation to be the chief guest and his opening address, in which he clearly highlighted the importance of this conference, the topics for the discussion of the conference, as well as importance of zoology. And he also highlighted that the role of zoology in the national development. He encouraged us for the placement of zoologists in the government system. Hopefully, his opinions help us to guide to mainstream zoology in national priority agenda for research, conservation, development, and employment. That is our strategy. I would like to thank Professor Dr. Dharmakanta Sabkota sir for accepting the invitation to take part in the conference as a special guest. Furthermore, I would like to express your appreciation for the constant support and assistance I received throughout the preparation of the conference from me. And also, I would like to thank, he highlighted several major issues of the zoology, issues of the graduates from the zoology, and he highlighted importance of zoology at the time of global change. For that, I would like to express my sincere gratitude. Also, he deserves special thanks because our issue, the placement of the government of a graduate student, he has highlighted and he is supporting us for that case. I'm grateful to 5 leading scientists. Those are keynote speaker in our conference. Dr. Jeffrey McNeely, who was former chief scientist of IUCN UNEP International Research Panel member. Professor Dr. Huyen Wai, Institute of Zoology, Chinese Academy of Science, who also accepted our invitation to be the keynote speaker. And Dr. Eric Dinnerstein, who also loved Nepal and who spent several years working in Nepal, who was former chief scientist of the WWF, and now he is director of the Wild Tech and Biodiversity and Wildlife Solution Program. Professor Richard Koch from University of London, he will be with us tomorrow for the keynote speech, and Dr. Valerie Kapos, she is head of climate change and biodiversity at the UNEP Old Conservation Monitoring Center. She will give lecture tomorrow as a keynote speaker. And I would like to thank all the delegates. Many of them are distinguished scientists from various parts of the world, and various researchers from the different countries. They are participating and delivering their scientific contribution in this conference. I am sure this big opportunity for all us meet to connect, to learn from each other, and share the latest knowledge about the biological sciences that help us conciliating human development and protect health of ecosystem and people. In addition to the academic aspect, the conference aim is to promote collaboration among institutions, participants, encourage innovative research ideas. I would like to thank for accepting our invitation for keynote speeches, invited speaker, and oral presentation and panelists. I would like to thank all of you. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the University Authority and authorities at the Institute of Science and Technology and the entire team. This entire team was supportive for this conference. Thanks to the former heads of the department, former faculties of our department. Those are our teachers, actually, for their constant support and encouragement for organizing this conference. Our students, staff, past students working in Nepal and abroad, they are always supportive in our mission. Thank you all. Thanks to my colleagues, Professor Mahendra Mahajan, for welcoming to all the guests and participants, and Professor Kumar Sabkota for highlighting the conference. Our gratitude goes to the members of organizing committee, scientific subcommittee, management committee, advisory committee. Actually, they work hard. I greatly appreciate the enormous effort of the coordinators of these subcommittees. We are delighted to express our gratitude to the members of the conference secretariat for their devotion and timely response to all the communications. Each and every one of them deserve our gratitude and appreciation for the excellent work they have completed, often carrying on late into the night and even being called upon the work at the weekends. They help the conference move forward. And we acknowledge all the colleagues of the Central Department of Zoology, former faculty, alumnus, students, staff who provided invaluable support to the conference. Our staff, PhD scholar, MSc student, works a lot for this conference. They are thankful. As a conference chair, it was great pleasure to work with so many enthusiastic personalities. Finally, we wish you successful and enjoyable conference proceeding, and hope that leave the conference with fond memories, useful contact, renewed enthusiasm for your role in expansion of the zoological sciences. It is my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks in this occasion on behalf of organizing committee and myself. I extend very grateful, very hearty vote of thanks to all speakers for gracing our important event in this opening ceremony. With this remark, I would like to conclude this inaugural ceremony. Thank you very much.